Hello, TuxLaCrux-Video. Um, Today for this video, I wanted to go over some tips. If you are a beginner and you want to start collecting physical media, whether that be Blu-rays, DVDs, 4Ks, even VHSs, or if you've already been collecting, these are just some tips that I want to share on how I think is the best way to collect and how to get your money's worth and how to go about it in a responsible way. The first tip that I would do is I would start out by creating a list, whether that be on your phone or on a piece of paper with a pen, of the movies that you absolutely want, ones that you know you can't live without, that you'll watch forever, that you'll repeat watch. Start with that. Might be a long list, might be a short list. After that, I would go to Blu-ray.com and look up each one of those movies and find the edition that you want. Some of those movies also, they might not be on Blu-ray, they might not be on 4K, they might be on DVD, they might only be on Blu-ray, and they might also be on 4K. So find the edition you want. On Blu-ray.com, they have the Amazon prices. You can start there and then write down the Amazon price on your list and go to eBay and compare that to other places. Groove.com, just off the top of my head. Pop Market is another eBay store that has good deals, and even just like other sellers who are selling. And take those numbers that you're finding of what people are selling them at and write that on your list right next to the movie. But don't right away buy online. Go to your local stores first. Go to your local record stores, bookstores that sell movies, Goodwills, and look for those movies, because oftentimes you'll find them cheaper in person. I know I do. And you don't have to pay shipping. And if you can't find them in person, I am the believer. I do believe in the fact that eventually you will find it in person. Not all the time, but more times than not, I've eventually found what I wanted in person. So yeah, go to your local stores first, and you might be able to pick it up for like $6, and then you don't have to pay shipping. I would also, if you do go to local stores, check the discs. Make sure they're not scratched, so then when you get home you don't play them and then they're skipping. So that's never a good thing. For another tip, I would say do not blind buy right away. And if you don't know what blind buying is, it's when you buy a movie that you haven't seen. Again, buy all the movies that you really, really know that you want, and then blind buy later. But my tip for blind, I don't typically like to do that. I've done it a few times, but my tip is I'll go to a local store, and I'll just peruse through the section like a used store. And a lot of my used stores, they will have still wrapped Blu-rays and 4Ks for pretty cheap, like unopened. And in my head, I don't know why this works for me, but those are the only ones that I'm allowed to blind buy. So I will look through them. I'll look just for the wrapped ones and see if I want them. I blind bought that movie The Other Guys that way. It was still wrapped. It was like $5, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was really good. Another tip that I would say is look for online deals. Unfortunately, gone are the days when you could go to Best Buy and get movies for like $10, like 4Ks. Like I remember my buddy, he bought The Evil Dead for like $10 at Best Buy, the 4K, and he has a slipcover with it, and like now it goes for like $60 to like $100. But gone are those days. Now the deals have moved to online. Groove.com is your best friend. Movies Unlimited, I've purchased from them several times. They'll have movies like I got the Dungeons and Dragons movie from Movies Unlimited for $8. But Groove.com, I've purchased so much stuff from them, and they always constantly have deals. And then another tip that I would say is you don't need to go with 4K for everything. Check to see if movies were filmed in 2K. you know, if they're filmed in 2K, a lot of the early Marvel movies are not filmed in 4K. And so if you get a 4K of like the original Avengers, Iron Man, it's upscaled to 4K. It's not, so the 4K is sort of unnecessary. And you know, there might be a lot of bad 4K transfers, so you don't have to go with 4K. My rule for 4K is I really only get like action movies on 4K. I've gotten some comedies on 4K, but typically comedies you don't need to get on 4K. Animation you don't need to get on 4K typically. There's not a massive upscale except for the classic Disney, like Sleeping Beauty and stuff like that. They look great in 4K. Snow White, Lion King looks great in 4K. But a lot of animation you don't need to get in 4K. Like most of my animation back here, oh, my hand's in the way, but most of my animation back here is all Blu-ray. And of course I have, like you see back here, I got Back to the Future on 4K. Like that looks pretty good. So it depends. Or like the 40-Year-Old Virgin. You know, you do your research. You look at the research of the movie. 40-Year-Old Virgin was always released on like a really bad Blu-ray, and finally got a 4K release, and it's like a whole nother movie. It's like a whole new movie. It's crazy. And the Blues Brothers, I bought that on 4K. It's like a whole nother movie. So, you know, stick with Blu-ray. I would say at the start, and then move into 4K, unless you already, like, you know, you purchased a 4K player, you have a 4K TV, then just jump right into 4K. And again, on Groove and like other places, you'll find deals. You'll find 4K deals. Yeah, so those are my tips. I hope they help. I will see if I'll try to think of some other tips and see if they help. Bye.